The Goose Girl. Once upon a time, a queen and a daughter were living together in the most beautiful castle in the country. The princess had a fairy she loved very much. This fairy always protected her. One day, when the princess reached the age of marriage, she decided to set out to meet the prince of another country. The queen gave her daughter a box of jewels to take with her. If anyone realizes that you are the princess on the way, bad things can happen to you, my dear daughter. So, you will be accompanied by my assistant rather than a soldier. The good fairy also had gifts for the princess. She gave a talking horse named Falada.
Hey, I'm happy to hit the road, my princess.
There is one more thing I want to give you, my princess.
The fairy gave the princess a handkerchief.
This is a magical handkerchief for my princess. Keep it always with you and use it when you need it.
The princess said goodbye and got on Falada, and her assistant was on a donkey. Hours later, the princess, walking along the forest road, was very tired and stopped to get some rest. "Oh, I'm so thirsty. We have water with us. Could you please give me some?" The assistant girl drank from the water. "Sorry, princess, but I was so thirsty too. So I drank it all. Find yourself another water. I'm not your servant." The princess was surprised at the servant's lack of respect. But she didn't see anything. They continued on the road. After some time passed, the princess stopped. "Royal assistant, could you please get me some water from the fountain, please?" "Sorry, princess, but I'm not your maid. I told you. You can get off your horse and get your own water." The princess and Falada made eye contact.
I'm started to having second thoughts about this assistant girl. You must be very careful around her.
The princess got down her horse and she got down and drank some water with her palms. The magic handkerchief in her pocket suddenly started talking. "Be careful, my princess. This assistant girl is dangerous." But as the princess bowed down to drink, the magic handkerchief fell into the water.
This assistant girl is dangerous.
Seeing the magic handkerchief flowing into the water, the assistant girl saw her opportunity. "You have no more power left. From now on, I am going to give you all the orders. You are going to do exactly what I say. Now, take off the princess clothes and give them to me. If you tell anyone the truth, I'll get you jailed." The assistant girl did not only wear the princess clothes, she also got on her horse, Falada, and started to move forward. The real prince, on the other hand, got on the donkey and slowly followed. After a while, they both arrived at the prince's castle. When the prince welcomed them, he thought the assistant girl was the princess and invited in. But he also noticed the servant girl who was actually the real princess. "Well, my prince, she is just a servant. She doesn't need to come in the palace with us. It'd be better if you give her a job and remind her of her place as my servant." So the prince did so and introduced to a boy named Comrade, who was the keeper of the geese.
By helping comrade, you can be a goose shepherd too.
"My prince, I have one more request from you. Could you tie up this grumpy horse? Better yet, lock him in chains. He almost threw me off on the way here." So, the prince summoned an assistant and ordered him to chain the horse to a bound. The assistant girl was trying to make sure her deception stayed a secret and fooled the prince. The real princess was sad and wept that her horse Falada had been chained. She immediately went to the barn to see him. poor Falada was just standing there in chains.
Oh, Philada, what have they done to you?
If you were clean my head what happened, she would be very upset, my princess.
Sadly, the princess left her horse Falada and started herding the geese in the meadow with Comrade. After a while, she sat down on a stone to rest and unfastened her golden clips that held her beautiful hair. When Comrade saw the shiny hair clips, he immediately approached the princess's hair and wanted to take them.
Ah, golden hair clips! I want these golden hair clips!
Ah, leave my hair alone. Blow, crazy wind, blow fast and straight. Take Kongrak's head and take it away.
At that moment, such a crazy wind blew that Comrade's hat flew off his head. After pursuing the hat flying up the mountains, Comrade finally caught his hat. The princess, who had retied her hair, hid her golden hair clips. After herding the geese together until sunset, Comrade and the princess finally returned to the palace. Comrade was immediately before the king.
I don't want to work with the stranger you've given me.
Why, comrade?
Oh, she's crazy. She talks to her horse and blowing off my hat and making fun of me. She doesn't work at all.
After these words, doubts fell into the mind of the king. The next day, the king followed the princess in secret. The princess first went to the barn and talked to the giant horse Falada again. Seeing the horse talking, the king could not believe his eyes. He then went to the meadow where Comrade and the princess were herding the geese, and he hid behind the bush. After a while, he noticed the golden hair clips in the princess's hair.
Blow, crazy wind, blow right away. Take Kongrak's head and take it away.
After these words of the princess, a very crazy wind started to blow, and the hat flew again. Comrade ran after his hat up to the mountains. Meanwhile, the princess hid her golden hair clips again in her hair. Seeing this, the king was very surprised and secretly returned to the palace immediately. In the evening, the king summoned the princess to his presence. He asked her about the talking horse, Falada, golden hair clips, and the wild wind. At that moment, the princess started to cry.
I cannot tell you, Your Highness. If I did, I would go to jail.
Don't be afraid to tell the truth, young girl. Tell me what happened.
The princess told the king everything one by one, starting from the very beginning.
So, you are the real princess, right? Don't worry. No harm will come to you. Now go and get ready like a princess.
The king immediately summoned his son, the prince, and told him everything. That same evening, without saying anything to the fake princess, the prince arranged a feast at the palace. The real princess was sitting at one side of the prince and the fake one on the other. The beauty of the real princess was dazzling. But the fake princess did not recognize her. Who is this girl? What is she doing at the feast? Where did she find those shiny jewelry? That beautiful dress?
Oh, palace nobles, I have a story for you. Listen to me carefully.
The king started telling what happened to the princess, as if it were someone else's story. In the end, he asks everyone how someone who deceives people with lying should be punished. The heaviest punishment must be given to the liar, my king. Her feet must be chained, and she must be imprisoned forever.
Is that so? But it is you who are the liar in this story. You have given yourself your own punishment. Soldiers, take this liar out of my presence now.
The assistant girl thus suffered the punishment for ruining the princess's life by lying. The prince proposed to the real princess that night. Then the princess and the prince went to the barn and rescued the talking horse Falada.
That is finally came out, my princess. If your queen mother saw this moment, she would cry with happiness.
The princess and the prince have started a new life in which they are very happy now. And the princess's good-hearted fairy was always with them, protecting them from all evil forever.